what an intense last 24 hours. All of a sudden, here goes crypto. I didn't know you still had it in you. You still have it in you all of a sudden to just wake up. And AVAX, which was looking weak yesterday at resistance, apparently some sort of partnership or something with Amazon. The research team's been going on this morning saying that people are taking it sort of wrong. It's not a full partnership. So we're going to be speaking about AVAX, guys, but let's speak about this absolute massive push and obviously a short squeeze. Now, if you can have a look over here, stock markets did not pump. Dixie did not drop much at all. Crypto markets exploded. For me, this, I saw something of, I think, $50 or $100 million worth of liquidations on shorts within Bitcoin. Remember, we don't have as much volume as what we had previously. So for me, this was a liquidity hunt as it speaks. RSIs are all, especially the high time frames, they're all sitting at the top quite crazily right now. But what it does do for us is it gives us the understanding and the hope that this chart that I've been explaining to you guys over the last 2 episodes can be correct, could possibly be correct, because we are getting the first sign. The first sign we are getting is we are getting a cross in that RSI on the monthly chart. We are getting an engulfing. I'm not expecting crazy big monthly candles yet, but so far in the same time frame, let's jump onto a log chart. There we go. On the same time frame as the last bull runs, Bitcoin is starting to show some hope. And previously, if it followed the same cycles, it's more or less the exact same time that it showed hope previously. And this ended up being the market low range. So on the high time frame, it's quite exciting to see. Now, this is where the beautiful part of understanding that we have trading portfolios and we have our long-term portfolio. So yesterday, I was like, especially last night. I only went to bed at 2 a.m. I don't know about you guys last night. I couldn't sleep last night. You could see I was tweeting quite late. It was a crazy night of just staring. It's been such a while since we've seen this massive pump. But I was upset and I was happy. And the reason why I was upset is that because I took profits on a lot of my trading. I even had 1 or 2 shorts. My short on Theta was in $7,000 profit by run show yesterday. And then I ended up taking a 2K loss and a stop hit. It is what it is. But I took profits on the trading, which I got a bit annoyed by. But my long-term is pumping. All of a sudden, I look at my long-term portfolio today, Kujira, all of these tokens, my long-term's looking great. This is the power of understanding that you need to TP into these pushes on your trading portfolio. You don't care if it goes higher. You are a consistent trader there. Your long-term will continue if it does move. But guys, I think that this can be a trap. I think that this can be, there's still some more room, and I'll go through now. What I'm going to be going through in the show is I think that this is a liquidity hunt. I think it's a short squeeze. I still think there's another short squeeze area that can possibly happen within today. I see the stock market at resistance. I see a lot of this happening. And I think with the data news, the CPI that's coming out today, I think we're going to get another fake move, possibly to the upside. And I think people are going to get hurt if they FOMO into the market right now. I still think because stock market did not run with crypto at these times, and we're not getting everything making sense. For me, this is a liquidity hunt. This is where crypto are making money. And we need to now prep. We need to now prep our portfolios, not only to take profits on our trading portfolios, and prep where are we buying next. And does this change things on the bigger picture now? Is Bitcoin going to be back at 20K, possibly higher within the next 2-3 months? Guys, absolute massive show. I'm going to do a full market update for you guys. No more wasting time. James, hit the button. Bullish. Come on.
Click. Have you heard the news? What? With his finger on the pulse, it's like Sheldon knew. Click. When the sniper shoots, we got Sheldon on the charts, so we never lose. Enter the sniper, sharpshooter advisor. Enter the sniper, he marks the charts right. Enter the sniper, he's calling the cycles. So enter the sniper, click. Time to be dedicated, sniper mode is activated. Explosions in the market are in target, and Sheldon demonstrates. Mirror on the wall, Master Sheldon tell us all. We got Sheldon on the chart, so we never lose. Enter the sniper, sharpshooter advisor. Enter the sniper, he marks the charts right. Enter the sniper, he's calling the cycles. Enter the sniper, click. Enter the sniper.
Yo, Banter fam. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. Put in the comments right now. Is this pump fake or real? Put them in the comments right now, fake or real. What are you guys thinking right now? I still think this is a great move for the higher time frame and for the possibility of a great ranging market for this year. So obviously high time frame, it's great. But what are you guys thinking out there? Fake or real? I want to see. I want to see. I want to see. Fake. Okay, this is a problem. It is a slight problem because probably the whole world's thinking right now that it's fake. And we know the market likes to play on that many times. Before I get in, guys, smash the subscribe button if you're brand new to the channel. And remember, we have school coming up. The next cohort's next month. If you want to secure your spot over there, very simple. You have to open an exchange with one of our exchange links below. And you have to deposit up to $250 and more. And you then register for Sniper School. You then put in your user ID, and that secures your spot for the next one. Sniper School is pumping. We have thousands in the waiting list. Like, it's absolutely crazy. And then what we have all of a sudden is rolling on. What's that song called? We have ROLEXs rolling in Banter now, and it's the same thing, but this runs with ByBit, guys. If you take one trade with one of our referral links on the ByBit link below, by the end of Feb, you have the chance of winning a Rolex. And apparently there's 2 Rolexes now, and there might even be 3 Rolexes. So the Rolexes are flowing all of a sudden in Banter, which is quite crazy. But guys, let's jump into the charts. This is a very important day. So as I said here, this for me is great. And this chart still indicates on the high time frame that we should be out of the stochastic RSI by the end of January to the end of Feb. So if it follows that, it basically comes with the thesis that Bitcoin makes its way to still $28,000 to $30,000 this year. It then goes into boring phase for about 6 months. And then we start a road to recovery to all-time high within 2024. So if this major chart plays out, they say Bitcoin's been programmed for a long time. Ultimately, the charts are showing the same thing. We just needed to break out of this range within this month. And so far, it's on an incredible start. But let's actually jump into the smaller time frames and have a look what's currently happening. So yesterday, what we spoke about was we were at resistance. Now, reason why this was such a critical resistance for Bitcoin is because it was a 618 move from the previous drop. Remember that time where we started getting hope again within the market, and all of a sudden the market came all the way back down to the low 16Ks. What this did was create a big sort of bearish leg on the left side. And ultimately, as long as we never crossed the 618 over here, we were still a possibility of making a lower low after that. So all that it was indicating is we definitely made lower lows in this area after that big drop over there. And ultimately, if we never got through this critical resistance, this is why you never be afraid on your trading portfolio to take profits into resistance. Never, because there's always resistance becomes support. A previous level that was a level to break through becomes a new level that you want to buy at. So you never want to be afraid, because if you sell in this area, soon you'll have opportunity to buy back in the same area where you sold, not losing tokens, but at least you know it's a confirmation. It's teaching you to not buy into pumps and not get yourself into trouble, because these traps do come along the way. Now, what happened yesterday is we held it. I saw it last night and I was watching how we just held this level, held it. Now, what people do, many people, is they use the 618. They use this Fibonacci tool, and they ultimately open many shorts in this area over here, because not only did we have RSI sitting at the top and we had the 618, we also had the support and resistance zone, which was here on the left. So many people took shorts in this area. And then what do you do with the short? Is you basically put a stop loss just above the previous high over here. And what the stop loss is a buy in. So ultimately, you're selling your Bitcoin, or you're saying the market's going to go down. And ultimately, if the market goes past the level where you no longer think, or your thesis is invalidated, buy me back my Bitcoin. And that's what creates these crazy jumps when we get through a critical area. Because have a look at it, guys. This is why you got to love price action and understand the emotions. The chart is always telling you a story. And that's why it literally took, what was it, about 18 hours in this area. Just hovering until all of a sudden the price just shoots through and it just tips those stop losses. And as soon as it tips the stop losses, it just starts to buy back all these stop losses, ends up liquidating many of those that don't have stop losses, and ultimately creates this huge push to the upside. Now, what does this mean for us? It means basically we had this previous high over here. We have just absorbed all of the hard work that the bears did in that time, we absorbed it in this little push that happened yesterday. Now, the concern that we're having right now is we did not break that high. We basically hit the same, and this can form as a pattern called a double top or anything like that. And it just means that we got rejected hard this time with guys offloading, and slightly at the moment, we got a short-term rejection there as well. Now, the way that we just saw the short squeeze that just happened over here, there's another squeeze that can happen. Reason being is, once this level is gone, where's the next area they want to bring down the markets? This area over here. Where they're going to put their stop loss? Just above this area over here. So you can see right now the rejection is good on where it is. But ultimately, if price goes back above there and hits the thing, we can see another stop loss hit. Now let's zoom out for a second and let's actually have a look at a slightly higher time frame of that move. This purely was a short squeeze. And ultimately, what we're looking at now is we're at that resistance and that high. Areas where people are going to want to continue to short. And I'm pretty sure shorts are probably loading up pretty big right now in these areas over here, especially going into the news. And that's why I think they might short-term be trapped. And what I mean by that is if we go to the bigger move now, we were zoomed into this little move over here. Now we have the bigger one. Remember the time when Bitcoin was 21,500, and this was around about November. The bigger mover, we thought, okay, we were going back to 30. We lost that hugely. And ultimately, this is where the higher time frame play becomes super important. Because the same way we had the 618 move over here, we wanted to track, right, to see, is this a correction? Is it a really strong move? Now in the high time frame, we're asking the same test. This is the 618. If you take a Fibonacci tool from the top over here to the bottom, it gives you the 618. Okay, it gives you another main area. Now, what's nice about this area is it also matches up with all of these resistance points over here. And what it basically indicates for us, we want to know, is the low in, right? And that's why we got to zoom into these different time frames to understand that and to see what that actually is. As long as we don't cross this point in, we can't counter, or we don't get above this point, we can't sit and say that the temporary low is in. Because ultimately, the pattern that can play out at these areas. Now, guys, it's not me being bearish. Everyone knows I'm bullish, and we're going to run a strong bullish wave together. I just want to make sure that we're making consecutive profitable trades and we are consistent. That's it. We're taking profits into this. We're buying back on pullback because I think Bitcoin's still going to be here for a little while. But ultimately, if we go here at any point and we don't break that level, it's still indicating at any point this could happen. Okay, it could. And until we get past this major frame. So what does that give us? I see I lost a little bit of signal. So ultimately,
it's not signal, that's me.
This is you jumping in, yeah. What's up, bro?
Good. I'm sorry. I was watching, and
quick question.
I agree with your thesis.
Real or fake? Real or fake?
So look, I agree with your thesis. Something doesn't. I'm very bullish, as you know, but something doesn't sit right with me short term. Short term, what's not sitting right with me is the market jumped yesterday. Both the Nasdaq, Bitcoin, all jumped yesterday ahead of the CPI numbers, right? CPI is expected to come in at 6.5%. That's where we are. We're at. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Let's see where it comes in. Right now, looking at the GMX long-short ratio, the longs are 3 times the shorts. I've backtested this thing 100 times. I've backtested this thing 100 times. When this happens, the next move is down. Now, I'm bullish. I'm bullish. You know me. I'm a bull. I'm long. I'm long everything except AVAX. I'm short AVAX at the moment.
So Ran, just to add to your concept there, I think the move that happened in the last 24 hours makes us even more bullish for the next 3 months. I think ultimately just not being trapped into this small move right now, you know, is the big thing, because I think from here we make a higher low from here, and after this we make a higher high. It's just about not being trapped into what's happening right now. But what was interesting is, like, if you look at the US 30 and stuff like that, or you look at the Nasdaq, like they moved, but they didn't move a lot. Crypto obviously did way more in that certain extent.
Stock market's up 5% this week. Stock market's up 5%.
But 24 hours.
I'm not going to stay for long. I just want to say, look, A, I think your thesis is 100% right. B, I've taken a short on AVAX. Join my show later. I'll show you why. Gareth Soloway is joining my show. And the last thing before I go, I was going to unveil the Rolex promotion on my show, but I just got confirmation right now while you were live on your show. So we can now reveal which Rolex we are giving away.
Nice.
Okay, now I want to just say something. I just want to say, I thought we were going to give away a much cheaper and much like less sought after Rolex. When I saw the watch that they're actually giving us to give away, that's
nice. That's sexy.
It is. It is mind blowing, bro. It is mind blowing. Okay, I want to. So no one's seen it yet. I'm going to show it on your show. Okay.
Show us, bro. Woo!
How's that? How's that? How's that? It's the Rolex. Watch, bro. It's the Rolex Submariner gold with it's the silver and gold with the blue face.
That's not a cheap watch. That's like a 20, 30.
That's a couple of. I mean, you can't even get them. So it doesn't matter because you have to find one. If you can find one, then I mean you can't even find them. That was what we were struggling with. So this is the watch that's being given away. It's being given away before the end of Feb. I'll show you guys quickly how to if you want to enter. I think Sheldon's done this, but let me quickly just show you guys how to enter if you want it.
That boy is thick.
Okay, so let me show you. Now, look, if you're a female and you want to change the watch, because you're welcome to change it, or you're welcome to give it to your husbands or boyfriends. I know husbands and boyfriends love Rolex watches that look like this. So I mean, if you're a female,
you're welcome. It would be a nice gesture. It would be a great gesture.
Okay, so look, so that's the watch. Okay, how do you win? Very, very, very simple. You go and open a ByBit account. And if you've already got a ByBit account using a Crypto Banter link, then it works. So you don't have to open another account. So if you don't have one, sign up using this link or any other Crypto Banter link. You must be a subscriber to our YouTube channel. You must join our Discord. Now, every trade that you make on ByBit from today until the end of Feb counts. So if you make one trade, it's one entry into the lotto. If you make 100 trades, it's 100 entries into the lotto. So everybody's got a chance to win. Even if you make one trade on ByBit, you have a chance to win. We will be giving the watch away just before end of Feb. Okay. And I mean, God, let's just look at it again.
But I think another thing to add to it as well, Ron, because we're busy to see maybe possible more. By end of Feb, the watch is given away, but don't root out that at any moment the watch can be given away.
Yeah,
at any time between that.
Any point in Feb, we're going to give it away by end of Feb, but it can be given away any point in Feb. Now, lastly, when you win the watch, you're going to have 5 hours to redeem it. If you don't redeem the watch within 5 hours, it's a spot trades are okay. Spot trades are okay. People are saying, why not Bitget? Wait until tomorrow. That's why there may be a second Rolex. We're just negotiating.
The Banter fam's going to be iced out.
Yes. Okay, so you know what to do. I'm going to see you guys later. Big show. I've got Gareth Soloway coming on. I'm going to show you guys why the market ran. And it's not only about CPI. There's something else there's two other things happening under the surface, which you guys need to know about. I'm also going to show you why I took an AVAX short today at 1550, and I may add to my short in a bit. So watch my show later. Sheldon, much love, brother. Keep doing what you do.
Much love, brother. I'll see you just now. Cool, bro. Cool. Let's jump back, guys. So as I was saying, stock market at that level right now, and the big concerning chart before I jump into the big movers yesterday is obviously still the Dixie. If the Dixie dropped and it broke this trend last night when the crypto market did these crazy things, then I'd be sitting in with a different story now to say, whoa, like, yeah, we go to 22K from here, like we fly. The problem is the Dixie never dropped a lot within that time at all. And currently it's still sitting in the same place as it was yesterday. And for us, it is a slight concern that this RSI has been dragging at the bottom for a while. It is still in support over here on a trend, and its support over here, still indicating that the Dixie and the dollar is still strong. And this is still not good for the stock market at any point, as well as the 10-year yield. The 10-year yield is still looking at an oversold position on the weekly, and that is also showing a bounce at any point. So what I'm coming down to, guys, is let's jump into the charts. This was a good thing for us. Doesn't matter if you took profits early. Doesn't matter if you took anything. That it was a good thing for the higher time frame for Bitcoin because we're making momentum. The big chart for us to focus on with Bitcoin here is if we have a look at the weekly. The weekly is important. Because look at that wedge. This is why I'm saying we are at big resistance right now, and many guys are probably taking shorts. but we're kind of getting somewhere a little bit on the weekly too. I don't think it's right now. I think maybe in a week or two, we can be out of this situation and start making some little bit better gains, than what we are right now. This could only just be the start, but ultimately we are getting somewhere, but we are not out of the danger just yet. Now, what I'm expecting from Bitcoin is today, if news goes good, okay, I still expect Bitcoin to possibly make a slightly higher move. Let's jump into this chart over here. Here we go. If things go really bullish today and the data comes out fantastic, I am seeing Bitcoin hit the next squeeze, and the next squeeze will be above the level of 18.4, where everyone's stop losses is sitting. And from this, I'm looking at us go reach that higher time frame 618, which is basically the 19.2. Now, let's not ignore still that right now we have 4-hour RSI at the top, we have 8 hours sitting at the top, we have 12 hours sitting at the top, and we have the daily stochastic sitting at the top. So the market's definitely overbought, and you can see the amount of green candles in a row. So be careful not to get trapped. But if we can go and make the 19.2, this can be really good for us for the remainder of this month, within Feb as well. If we look at that high time frame chart that I gave you guys yesterday, it still shows that it's small moves for the next 2 months within Bitcoin, maybe getting to 2021. And then from March, we can start making a stronger move back into 25. No all-time highs for me this year or anything like that. But I do think that relief rally could happen at that stage. But this is what I see happening basically on the shorter time frame now, if things go good today. Okay. And what that does as well, let's quickly look at the stock market on what that does, because it finally gets it through this area over here, which is the 618. And if it gets through this, it shows stock markets go another 3-4% to the upside from here. That's it. I still see RSIs maxed and anything like that. And then I expect a rejection from there. And from that, we will then track to see where the lows, higher lows, or anything like that. Or second option, they run right before, about an hour before the news. They start pumping the market. The market starts to continue and Bitcoin starts to possibly break these highs. The news comes out bad. We end up getting a huge engulfing red candle, and we basically start a 3 to 4 day retracement from right now in these areas over here. What I'm expecting from Bitcoin then is I'm expecting it to come to its support line. The big problem that I have with Bitcoin is this is the momentum that it's been moving in, and now it's gone extremely far from the momentum line. And this is my magnet line. It's something that at any point we're going to come back. It always respects it. It always comes and respects momentum of the market. And at some point, we're going to be sucked back into this. And for me, that's back to the early 17,000s. Now, let's put that into context of the rest of the market. Firstly, yesterday, we spoke about Ethereum to Bitcoin. Great performance so far from that. And so far, ETH is performing well throughout this year. And I still think ETH's got a really strong year. I still think that we can get slightly better entries to Bitcoin. So if you're sitting on a bunch of Bitcoin and you want to turn to ETH for the year, there might be another 4 to 5% that you can get where it comes back. Because the next pullback, I definitely think ETH is going to pull back more than Bitcoin, definitely for now. So you might get a bit of entry. But if you are looking, guys, focus on long-term ETH this year. I really think it's going to do well. Look at the dominance over there. Look at the dominance. The dominance is ripping. So ETH not only over Bitcoin, over the rest of the market's looking incredible too. And then we look at the ETH chart. This is interesting. This just shows now that if today things go well, we are breaking a sort of long-term trend. For now, it could possibly be a fake out and we could lose this area pretty quickly. But right now, this is good. And if things go good today and Bitcoin does go to 19.2, I'm expecting ETH to go to 1.5. From that, come back, retest, we get some new entries. It's going to be a 10% pullback, anything like that. But then that's a great start for ETH for the back to the recovery of 2K, if not more, within the next 2-3 months. So it's a big chart over there. But let's put this into context. Whenever this market rejects, you can see I've set 2 levels for the whole market, for Bitcoin, for alts, for all of that. Bitcoin, possibly a 7% retracement from the area that we hit now. If we go higher, I'm expecting a 10% retracement. But let's look at altcoins now. BNB, if we get rejected here, 8%. BNB hasn't been growing too much at that time, but 8%. If it goes to the higher targets, 15%. Cool. Let's look at Solana. This one, I think by tomorrow, we lose enough steam, and I'm going to be taking a great short with you guys with Solana. I think Solana is going to be a beautiful one for us. Yesterday I took a small loss, still I think 5x above with my profits from the last 2 weeks, which is great. But I think this is going to be a nice one. It is showing a possible push, one more little push. You know, you look at risk to reward right now to buy. You know, it doesn't work in your favor. Let's actually put the risk to reward ratio tool. If you had to buy Solana now, you're risking that Solana can come back here. You're risking 22% for 11 to 13% gains. That's a terrible, it's terrible, terrible, terrible. On a lot of the coins right now, risk to reward is just way more risk than reward right now. But this is going to be a big one for me. But if we reject here today on Solana, I'm seeing a 20% pullback on Solana. And then we can get some more great entries. This could possibly be the low. We'll obviously see, but this could be a great one. AVAX, let's speak about the big one, because we had a bunch of resistances here. And I said, I'll take a small short position over here. And if we break this trend over here, I'll add more. We did not break it. We held it. And all of a sudden, here goes AVAX. Apparently, rumors and all these things are not taken properly with this whole partnership with Amazon. That's what created this huge thing over here. Apparently, it's not as big as what people think. And that's what Run's going to speak about later. So make sure you do watch his show. But for me, AVAX has one resistance here. Maybe it has one more push up, but the next resistance is pretty far. We have one at 18 and one at 20, which I don't think will happen right now. But I think this changes things for AVAX on the high time frame. Because if you have a look over here, we broke a really incredible long-term trend. So the way you want to do this is you want to get it at a great support confirmation buy. And for me, that's back at $12.80 to the $13. So for me, same thing. Look at over the year, 17 to 18% back is where I'm only focused on buying. Chainlink, this is the drawing that I gave you guys. TPs, guys. I just want to make sure any money right now, and you're going to soon understand why. I don't care if it's another 5% push. If you have any money right now that you need, that's your trading portfolio, TPing should be the only thing in your option, right? Only thing in your head right now is taking profits. In the next 3 days, we're buying. We will get the great buys. We will get that stuff. TP, because all the charts over here, you can see them very clearly. That one, look at Uni. So Uni, I'm expecting to come back to 5.3. If we have a look percentage-wise, 12 to 14%. NEAR protocol, I'm expecting a 20% drop within NEAR. It's at resistance for me over here. I'm just here to tell you guys, and it's the same thing with Rune, with all of that, that this, be careful, be careful, be careful. They're trying to trap you. If you're buying right now, someone's going to make a shit ton of money off of you. They're going to make a lot of money. I don't care if it goes a little bit more, anything like that. We are buying the next pullbacks. I want you to be careful. Don't be any short-term leverage trades when the news happens today. Get your popcorn, get your coffee, because shit's about to get really volatile again as normal. But look at TPing now. We're starting to get a lot of signs that the market short-term is toppy. And as long as Bitcoin is not above 19K, we can still have a low, lower than the 15.5. It can still happen. And it may even be, this may even be the temporary top for now. So protect yourself on any money that you don't, that you need. And if you got your long-term portfolio, that's fine. You let that ride through. Worst scenario, your trading portfolio is out, market pumps, your long-term makes more money, and then we buy more with the trading portfolio a little bit later. But if we go through all of them, you know, Rune, Theta, that's a bad candle on the daily for Theta. So I'm expecting an 8 to 10% drop within Theta. Look at Cardano. I'm expecting this to come back 15%. Look at Phantom. So all of these guys, what I'm excited about though, is we now removed 618 on the short time frame yesterday, which means we are slightly more bullish now on the high time frame than bearish, which means we really want the next buys and we really want great entries. So yesterday was fantastic. I'm just saying right now, protect yourself and let's get the better entries. So guys, have a fantastic day. I love you lots. Much love. If you want the Rolex, do what you got to do. If you want to be in school, sign up with the links below. You know the drill. Have a fantastic day and I'll see you all tomorrow. Much love, Banter fam.